Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. I want to welcome all of you to our program today. We are doing Kingdom Fruits today. We are doing Kingdom Fruits with a very dynamic young Nigerian guy that is very, very eloquent. And for those of you who have been watching our program, you have been hearing him, very dynamic, eloquent speaker, and very, very loaded too. Very, very loaded and very, very dynamic and loaded, very knowledgeable. I told him the impression that I had is that he has listened to all my messages, or he has read a lot of my books, because he is coming as a very, very informed person. In fact, as a matter of fact, as I listen to him, he is the one that really convinced me that there are remnants in Nigeria, because of course I know that there are a lot of other people who have been listening, but I've not seen him too much on the platform. But hearing him showed me that, well, there are people down there that I might not know that have been listening and following. So I'm very impressed by this young man. His name is Michael Osibajo, very much like the name of our vice president. Hello, Michael. How are you doing today? Zvuk Yemudaite.
I'm fine.
Hello, Michael. Zvuk Yemudaite.
I'm doing great.
Hello, Michael.
I'm with you, sir.
All right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank God. I'm just, I'm blown out, to be here.
Yeah.
I'm so blown.
You are a very young man. When I listen to you speak from from you calling in, I almost thought that you are an older man. But
no.
Seeing you now, I see that you are old. You are a young man. I'm very impressed, because I was thinking that you'd be like 40 years old or 45 years old.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So how come you know so much? Have you been listening to me for long or what?
Yes, well, 8 years ago, or 8 or 9 years ago precisely, I came in contact with your book, Church Shift. And that book was like an answered prayer, or like he answered some of my curiosities. Because growing up, I've always been someone who asks a lot of questions. I just ask myself, I'm very logical with my approach to a lot of things. So growing up in the church, I realized that a whole lot of things are not just making sense to me. But I didn't have the answers, so I just kept on going and all that. But 9 years ago, I came in contact with Church Shifts. And when I read that book just changed my perspective. Like, this is what I've been thinking. This is what I've been talking about in my head, and that was just it. That was just it. And since then, I've just been trying to, ask other questions. Not until last year, June, July, I think it was July, when you came out strong with some of your teachings and all that, and talking about the challenges of Nigeria and all that. And I was like, you're not even in Nigeria. How come you're so passionate about Nigeria this way? You're not here. You could have as well stayed where you are. It's not as if you have not achieved, or you are, nobody will see you now and call you a failure. So why are you so passionate about Nigeria? And those were some of the things that, drove my attention to you. And I like, you know what, I need to listen to what Pastor Sunday is saying. So I just started listening to you, started listening to a lot of your messages. I started listening to your views.
How did you know? How did you know that those messages were going on the internet?
I've always subscribed to you. Like, I subscribed to your page on
Facebook page.
Yes, and sometimes maybe a couple of my friends, maybe somehow just shared your video.
Okay.
And because your name is a name that I already registered, and I've come in contact all the time. Anything that comes from you, I just like, let me listen to it. Sometimes I listen. Why I'm somebody that's very open to opinions and all that. So it was just about let me listen to what Pastor Sunday has got to say, and then that was it. I became glued to it.
Yeah, but a lot of people like you have listened to have read my book, Church Shift, 8 years ago. They believe that they know me, but really they don't, because were, they just know about my achievements, and and they began to use me as their pride, as their reference point. And they are using me as the reference point, as this black man that is pastoring all these white people, and he's a Nigerian. So it's just something they could be proud about. And thereby, when they use me like that as a reference point, they are in their mind thinking I'm just like one of their pastors. That, oh, he's a Nigerian pastor. So that kind of, they want that to validate them, to validate what they are doing. That, oh, he's a Nigerian pastor. So he's a Nigerian pastor. Every Nigerian pastor is the same. So it means he's the same. But when I began to really come out for who I am, the whole hell broke loose. I mean, they couldn't believe it, that this is not the person that we had vied for, and we had all bragged about, and we had all spoken about. But is it the same? Is it the same thing with you, that you knew about Pastor Sunday and you thought you knew him, but is it just this year when you began to listen to me that you discovered me really, or no difference for you?
Well, when I read that book, I could almost connect to your heart. Like I said, before I read that book, it was like I had a lot of questions. And then I've met quite a lot of pastors who probably know you by association. Some of them know you well.
Yes.
So some of them know you well enough to tell me.
Is it possible for you not to use your hand like that? Please don't use your hand like that, because then it's blocking your face. The whole world is not seeing you. We only see your hand.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, just don't put your hand for the front anymore.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
They spoke highly of you. These are people that really spoke highly of you. Pastor Sunday, like he's somebody you need to meet and all that. And the way they spoke about you. And from the book that I read, I could put the two together. Like, this is somebody who is seeing church or the kingdom of God from a different perspective. This is, it was just like your mindset towards things is just totally different. And so that was just what got to me. That was what got to me about some of the things that you stand for and some of the things that you believe. And the reason why I started having a lot of issues, and I felt that some of these people might disagree with you or the things you stand for or the things you believe, is, to achieve some of the things that you have achieved, or to do some of the things that you have done, they might have to, do a lot of collapsing. They might have to break down, tear down. It's like a total shift from what they already have. And that's just what I believe. And so it's going to be a little difficult for people to want to follow after your ideology. And so, because some of the things you stand for is almost against what they do or what is being done in this place, you expect people to just shift the way they shifted. Sometimes not that some of them don't believe in what you are saying, or they don't understand what you are saying. It's just that the process of achieving what you are saying is going to mean that they will have to bring themselves down. And, this is a difficult thing here in Nigeria.
Yeah, but when you started listening to me, is it the same thing you expected, or even you changed, or your opinion also changed as well?
When I started listening to you, I feel I had a better or a clearer picture of you, of your heart. I had, I've known you before, like I said earlier. I've known you before, and I've listened to you over and over. But coming in contact with you again and hearing some of your messages and your passion and your ideology about a lot of things, kind of like just explained. It explained your heart. I was able to, sir, it's not about what we do. It's the reason why we do it. I believe that. So when I listened to some of your message and some of the things, your programs,
yes,
I started connecting more to your heart. That if this is supposed to be the heart of a leader, you understand? So that was what got to me. So I had a shift. Before, it was just about, you were able to do this, you were able to achieve that. But when I started listening to you now, I understood the heart behind the achievement.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, the same thing like I'm saying now, because all those people you are talking about that were celebrating me, talking good about me, right now they are saying that I've lost it.
Yes, of course. I've heard it. I've heard one or two, and they feel that, well, maybe something is wrong. One thing they all agreed, or some of them that I've heard of agreed, is Pastor Sunday is a very intelligent person. They all talk about how brilliant you are, and that cannot be taken away. You know, so they don't. Where the misunderstanding is now that how come you are approaching things the way you are? I think it's your approach, you know, that is affecting a lot of people. Like they never saw you coming.
For example,
They never.
yeah, they never saw. They never did what?
They didn't see you coming from this dimension. You understand? So they can't take away. I've listened to some of them, you know, these highly respected people. Behind closed doors, they talk about how brilliant you are, how what a brain you are made of. But I feel where the issue came in, or where the friction came in, is the approach you are now using, because they never saw you coming. They never saw it coming that way, like you can come all out and be speaking to the masses and be tearing down the ideology of the Nigerian Christian presently. You know, I've been mentioning names, especially mentioning those big names and all that. You know, I think that was where the friction or the disagreements with these people started coming in.
Okay, Michael, if you say they agree that this guy has got a unique mind, right? And a brilliant mind, according to what they say, that is very intelligent. What is the purpose of being intelligent? The purpose of intelligence is to produce answers, is to produce solutions. So if I have the intelligence, can't they know that this guy, with the intelligence that he has, it means that he is seeing something that, okay, look at Einstein, for example. There were a lot of professors of physics and a lot of professors of chemistry and mathematics. So, but what made Einstein different is because he's brilliant. And because he's brilliant, he's able to resolve his situations, or he was able to resolve problems that other people are not able to resolve. The same thing when you talk about Bill Gates. Because he's brilliant, he's able to provide solutions to equations that other people couldn't find solutions to. If you talk about Mark Zuckerberg, because he's brilliant, that brilliancy brings people to conclusions that other people don't see. The whole essence of brilliance is that you are able to bring solutions.
Yes, sir.
You are able to bring perspectives that other people don't see. You know, people who are brilliant are seeing something on another level. They are seeing what other people don't see. And that means that they are leaders. Because when they see what other people don't see, they lead the way. And other people can now follow their path. That is what it means to be brilliant. But in Nigeria, to be brilliant is just a talk. You know, oh, he's brilliant. Oh, wow, he's brilliant. Oh, he's brilliant. No, it's about charting a new path. It's about leading a new way. So if they really believe what they are saying, then why can't they give me the benefit of a doubt? Why can't they give me the benefit of a doubt that maybe he's right? Maybe that even the method he's using, maybe it's good. Okay, for example, even if they say it's not right, but they are seeing this, they are seeing the result. Because who has started a movement like this under 1 year? Because it is only 2017 that I started to talk about Nigeria. From 2016, I started doing live broadcasts, but I was just talking on general issues. But 2017, I started talking about Nigeria. Now, but how many people have done that in 1 year that the whole country is like upside down? The whole Christian world is like upside down. Because let me tell you, for example, one thing, somebody who is a disciple of another upright Nigerian. You know, I'm sure you know of Billy Akane.
Yes, I know Billy.
Okay, so but Billy Akane is preaching basically similar thing that I'm preaching. Very critical of Nigerian churches and preaching righteousness, holiness, and things like that. But when this is disciple, he said he has been following him for almost 30 years or so. He goes to his Boko or something to do conference. Yes, and he said, how come this man has been talking for 30 years and it's like nobody is paying attention to him. People know that he's there, but you came on stage under 1 year. It's like an earthquake or tsunami hit Nigerian Christian world, and everybody is just started talking. They think it's because of me. I don't think it's because of me. I think it's because of the method. Of course, the revelation, but also the method. Because that method is what nobody is bold enough to use. And even this same Billy Akane, I invited him to come on stage so that we would talk about this people. No, he said no, not that method is too much for it. Yeah. So they don't want to associate with my method. I said, you don't want the method, but it's the method that is giving the result. What you have not been able to do in 30 years, this method that you people don't like has brought that awareness in 1 year. I don't know if you are getting my logic.
Yes, sir.
So why can't they come to that conclusion that maybe this guy is right anyway? I mean, I'm talking about benefit of a doubt.
Yes, sir. You know, I believe that a couple of them will give you a benefit of a doubt, and they understand. You see, there is a foundational issue. There's a foundational problem, and you see, from your standpoint, from where you are speaking from, to accept or to align with some of the things you say, it means it's like war against some people. Because I don't know how better to put that. Like, a lot of people accept and they acknowledge what you're doing, but not in the open. I want to believe that. You know, there was a time I was talking and I said, there are people that, like you, that God has given that stamina to spearhead some certain things that other people. It's not as if there are no other people who notice that things are not going the way they are supposed to go, but they don't have that pedigree. They don't have that pedigree to say, okay, I'm going out there. For example, the Brother Billy Akoni example that you have given. Brother Billy Akoni is a renowned preacher in Nigeria, very well respected and all that. But when it comes to national transformation, he is not an authority. So when it comes to national transportation, he's not an authority. So you can come and speak about national transformation because it is something that you've done with proofs. So all these things coming from your mouth definitely will have a lot of impact. It will shake Nigeria more than for a Brother Billy Akoni to do it. So, and I feel that is actually where the issue is coming from. Before you started this thing, there are few people here in Nigeria that have started talking against the state of Nigerian church, but they don't carry weight. But if Pastor Sunday Adelaja comes out and say the same thing, because most of these people at one time looked up to you and reached out to you, they understand what that means to the way people see them, the way their followers see them. So that is where the war comes in. That's where the battle comes in. So you probably might never have to get some of these people to say they want to associate with you or align with you or agree with you publicly, but some of them, I'm sure that behind closed doors, they listen and they agree with some of your ideology. And even though the method, one way or the other, came to them directly, like it was as if it was an attack on them, but I'm one of the opinion that if it hasn't been like this, it wouldn't have been effective. It wouldn't have been effective because I'm sure before you came right out to start talking publicly, you've tried other methods. It's just that it's not going to work. It's never going to work. You've tried probably talking to these people and trying to relate some of these things. But, you know, like I've always said when I call in that, I also believe in the timing of God. I believe in timing. I believe that this time, there is something in the atmosphere for Nigeria. There's a shift. And when that shift comes in, I believe that some peculiar things are going to be happening. Somebody will have to blow the trumpet so loud, and I believe God is using you to blow that trumpet. Somebody is going to blow the trumpet to give out the warning and all that, that everything you now begin to say will be making a lot of sense. It will be shaking the foundation of the society, and I think that is what is happening with you, sir. So it's nobody will have done this thing with the method that you have adopted that will have carried weight like you, because the subject you are talking about is the subject that you have an understanding and you have a proof on.
Yeah, but Daddy Freeze is talking about it without proof.
You see, Daddy Freeze is here's what I believe when it comes to God and the way God does things. In the Bible, I've seen so many times when the people of God, when they refuse to follow in the ways of God and the priests lose their place, God normally takes even people. Sometimes he will empower an Eden king. Sometimes he will empower, idolaters.
Donkey.
And he will empower them and subject them. It's not to destroy them, but to bring them back. So I felt that somebody like Daddy Freeze, when I'm talking, I'm relating it side by side with the Church Society of Nigeria. To them, is insignificant. He doesn't have the pedigree. Yes, he might have the facts. He might come with a lot of biblical proofs and all that. But he's not somebody that has that kind of weight of understanding and knowledge that you have. He doesn't have the kind of followers that you have. He's just, he's just somebody who God, I felt God just empowered him to stir up the waters. To just stir up the waters, to say that, you know what, there is a shift coming to happen. And it doesn't matter who God decides to use. Like I said, God has been using a lot of people, but thank God for somebody like Daddy Freeze, because he's an online personality. He understands the power of media. So he's using the power of media well, but he still does not have the pedigree. We are talking about Pastor Sunday Adelaja. I understand that at one point, Ukraine, your house was like a mini pilgrim.
Yeah.
It was like a mini pilgrim for almost Nigerian pastors.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to come and learn and see what is happening in that place.
Yeah.
We know all that. So, and some of their people understand that their pastors come to meet you. So, for you to now come and start standing against them with your results, it's heavy. It's going to shake. It's going to cause more revolution than if it is done by people within. Because, like I told you before, Nigerians are people that they like to see proofs. That is why they like to see things, material things. They like to see substantial things. That is why you see a lot of churches in Nigeria more miracle-centered. It is all those miracle-centered churches that have more crowds. Because it is about what they can see. Presently, right now, what can you show? So, if anybody tries to talk about Pastor Sunday Adelaja, they can talk about you, but they cannot agree with your results. Because your results speak for itself. So I think that is where the problem is.
Now, but I personally don't think that it is my pedigree that is causing the whole havoc.
Okay.
Because yesterday there was an article that came out on the internet. I think the name of the guy. I can't remember the name of the guy. I think it's Ike or something. Ike something. And so the guy wrote that. I cannot help but laugh. He was writing that this last week in Nigeria, that a lot of things were happening, and that this last week, Pastor Adeboye gathered 2 million people.
Okay, I read the article.
You read the article, okay. So the point he was making is that Pastor Adeboye gathered 2 million people, and then Oyedepo gathered 200,000 people. Experience 600,000 people, and things like that all over Nigeria there is revival. Okay. And he said, then he started the article very provocatively, and he said Sunday Adelaja would not be happy because that despite everything he has said within 1 year, that nothing has changed with having more people gathered. But what I could pick up from that what I could pick up from that article, but then a lot of people were commenting. There were a lot of comments. And all that comment what it was all pointing to was that it was not just the activity of Sunday Adelaja that was, troubling them, but the fact that they were always talking about Sunday Adelaja and his army of internet, whatever they call us, internet critics or internet enemies of the church or internet, whatever, abusers or internet warriors. And they kept on talking about it, that these people are, there are so many everywhere. They will not go away. They are becoming more and more many. They are becoming more and more on daily basis. And, they are everywhere. It's impossible to escape them now. So I think the problem really is not with Sunday Adelaja anymore. And I think the problem is no more with my own pedigree. The people who are coming on internet, they don't have any pedigree in the church world. So what I'm saying is that God is raising up ordinary human beings, ordinary people. Let's even say, okay, but that the Freeze has pedigree, because at least he has the pedigree of a television person or radio personality. But I'm talking about people who don't even have any kind of pedigree like that. And they are the ones God is raising up. And in all the comments I was reading, I kept on seeing it everywhere, that all these people are abusing people everywhere. They are everywhere. Despite everything they have done everything they could do. They are abusing people everywhere. Nobody can stand. They are just so the blame they are putting on me right now is that as if I'm leading a rebellion generation. A rebellious generation, generation of rebels. But they are calling us rebels. They don't know that it's a wrong name for us. We have a name for ourselves. And the name that we have for ourselves is idol smashers and temple cleansers. We are cleansing the temple. We are breaking the idols. We are not just, rebels. We are rebels with a cause. Every revolutionary is a rebel, but with a cause. But it's not just a rebel. A rebel is somebody that is not just happy with everything, it's just not following, not obeying. But we are not that kind of rebels. We are rebels with a cause. We are idol smashers. We are temple cleansers. And that's why they are feeling it. Their temples are being cleansed. Even though right now, as they are saying, we still have crowd coming. What is crowd? What is crowd? Go to India. You will see a lot of more crowd that they have gathered in Nigeria. All the crowd they gather in Nigeria is nothing compared to what India gathers. But you see, whenever you shoot a lion, or even any animal, even if it is a fish, you brought it out of the water and it's about to die. But before it dies, before that fish dies, it begins to make much more noise. If you shoot a goat or an animal or a sheep or a goat or a cow or a lion, and it's about to die, it's on its way to die, but that's when it's fighting, making the most noise. So the most noise that they are talking about that they had this year, that might be the death is before their demise is because they are on the way out. Just like it is with everything that is about to die. Just before they die, they begin to make more noise. So anyway,
yes, sir.
What I wanted to say is that what is troubling, I read all those comments and I read all the article of the guy, then the comments, and I see that what is really troubling them most is, according to them, that I am leading a revelation. You turn the telephone, or the telephone has been turned upside down. You need to turn it. You need to turn it again.
How about now?
No, it's still not all right.
I'm coming. Give me a sec.
Okay, it's fine now. It's fine now.
So, it's fine now, right?
Yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying is that they are more. No, go and show your shares rather. Like I told you before. Yeah.
Okay.
More a little bit. Or you come closer. Come closer to it. We need more of your chest. Okay, good. So what I'm trying to say is that, again, you touched it and it moved again. It's become, okay, good now. Just don't touch it anymore. But we need to have more of your chest. Yeah. but it's again upside down again. Sorry guys, sorry everybody. Okay, now it's fine. You just need to move a bit back. Okay, good now. So what I'm saying is that people seem to be more concerned. The Nigerian church seem to be more concerned about not just about me and my pedigree right now, but they are more concerned about the fact that there is a whole army. They are always commenting. If you look through the comments and the article, they are always concerned about this army, this whole, parade of unruly people that they cannot rule and control. You see, they like everything to be under control. And these people are not under control anymore. They are not people they could control. So because they cannot control them, and there are people they don't even know, and they are just coming from everywhere. They are calling them nobodies, but these nobodies are giving them headache. They are giving them a whole lot of troubles. And that is what is really making them mad. That is what is making them mad. The telephone is gone upside down again.
Oh.
So what is making them mad? Okay, good now. So what is making them mad is not just Sunday Adelaja alone anymore, but the fact that Sunday Adelaja has been able to raise up what they call it, the army of rebels or the rebellious people. But we know who we are. We know who we are. We are not rebellious. We are rather the army of the Lord. Only they don't like it because it's not in their favor, but it's in God's favor. Well, by the way, I don't know what's wrong with the telephone of Michael. While we are trying to get him, if any one of you would like to call into the program, if you want to call into the program, please, you know how to call. Just go to Move Agents. Go to Facebook Messenger and then look for Move Agents. If you want to add and contribute, you can just call into the program. Go to Facebook Messenger and look for Move Agents. When you get there, just write that you want to contribute. That's it. So I don't know if you heard what I was trying to say. That I see that a lot of them are more troubled, not just about me alone now, but that all these people are coming from nowhere, and that they are multiplying. I even read it in those comments that they are multiplying. They are becoming more and more, and they are everywhere. You cannot escape them. I mean, and they are just abusing pastors and ministers and Nigerian churches everywhere. They are everywhere. It's like, we are like an epidemic. So that is what I think is troubling them the most.
I feel I read that article, and it shows, of course, the state of Nigerian Christians, how we have been misdirected. We've been misinformed when it comes about kingdom views, what the kingdom is about. If it's about here in Nigeria, somebody like that is because of that guy does not understand what the essence of kingdom is about. That is why he is celebrating that somebody gathered 2 million people in a place. Because if you understand what the essence is about, I'm going to ask that same person. When I read that comment, I said, where do I even start from if I want to start answering this guy? Because where do we start from? Do we say that last year they did the same program, didn't they? But it doesn't make Nigerian better.
But they have been doing it for the past 10 years, 20 years, 8 years, 5 years.
The program has been coming on, and people have been gathering. But yet,
Nigeria is getting worse and worse.
Getting worse. And so I understand that it is because a lot of people who defend these things or these people or these actions or this group is because of the ignorance of the concept of what the church should be about. That the church they don't understand that it's about service. Some of them will argue and say, why are we asking the church to do what the government is supposed to do? That is it the fault of the church that there are bad roads or there are bad hospitals? That it's supposed to be the government that will do that. And I say it's because you lack understanding. That is why some people will make such statements. Because if they understand what God said, or the prophet said in Isaiah chapter 9, where he was saying that unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, he made it understand that the government of the world will be on his shoulder. So if things are not working the way they ought to work, it's because the church is not doing what they ought to do. So, and what is the church supposed to do? It is not gathering for 1 week and be sharing testimony of how somebody became rich, or how somebody became healed, or how somebody got breakthrough. So you go there and you will say, oh, there were miracles, there were signs, there were wonders. But which is the bigger miracle? Which is the greater miracle? Is it the one-off miracle that we get in camp, or a system of miracles? Where our miracle, is no more egocentric, but it becomes a system that everybody can benefit, both the Christians and the Muslim. Where instead of going to camp just because I am sick in my body, or because I have one issue or the other, the Redeemed Christian Church of God decides to put that money. It's not, people say, I am not one of those people that is against giving to the church. I believe that the church, they are a representative, or they are part of their body. We are part of which I'm part of. We are a body, we are a system, and the system needs to be funded. But where the issue is what do we use the money to do? Do we use the money for what God wants us to use it for? Do we give it back to serve the people, or we just use it to build something for ourselves? That is where my issue is. And from the research, you realize that a large part of Nigerian church is saying that the money should not be used, the money building kingdoms and building large domes and having another branch and having mega concerts and having mega program. They feel that is the kingdom of God. But if all the money that we are gathering had been used to build mega hospitals, we would not need to be gathering in the camp, because somebody who is sick can go to that hospital and can get treated, and that is a bigger miracle.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a one-off. Is that anybody can walk into that place and there is almost 70 to 75% assurance that the person is going to come out healed.
Yeah.
That for me is a miracle.
Yeah.
So, but when we don't understand these things, we begin to see these people and the things they do. We begin to see it as the standard for God. That is how God does things. And when you look at what these people preach, most times they always preach about the things that happen in the Old Testament. So they want to use the Old Testament things to justify why we do this. But Jesus said to that woman by the well, he said, you see, your father, they worship at this mountain. They are all dead. He said, a time is going to come. I will no longer be here. The place of worship is not just going to be our camps anymore. It's not just going to be all those places. It's not just going to be Shiloh. It's not just going to be Redeemed Camp. It is going to be that God will multiply his spirit. He will pour his spirit on all flesh. So everybody we are all carriers of the Spirit of God. And God wants to manifest through every one of us. So it's the understanding of service, is understanding of what Christianity should be about that is causing a lot of people. Most people who are defending all these things is because they don't understand what it's about. I used to tell people, for example, this experience I just passed, billions of naira, at least a billion will have been spent to put that program to place. All the artists they brought in from America and from Australia and from all the other part of the world, they gave them first-class treatment. They were lodged in the best hotel in Lagos. Everything first class. And in that same place, you have your own people. It's like a false image, a false representation. You are painting a wrong picture.
It's living falsehood. It's living a lie. It's a lie. Yeah. It's a lifestyle of a lie. Deception.
Yes. So these people come here, you give them presidential treatment, but right there under your nose, there are people who don't even have 2,000 naira to buy anti-malaria drugs.
Your own church members now, even those same church members.
You understand? So, and you will say that you are doing that to the glory of God, and you say you are lifting God up, when God said that when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. And who did God liken himself to? He likened himself to the weak in the society. He likened himself to the poor. He likened himself to the ones that are bound. He likened himself to the ones that are sick. So we need to have a reorientation about kingdom, about what we do as a church in Nigeria, that God has blessed the Nigerian church with material. He has blessed the Nigerian church with so much money. But the challenge is that the money is misdirected into a wrong purpose, which is to build self and human empires. And
Yeah, but how could you build a dome or whatever, dome or building for $1 billion or $2 billion? Minimum $1 billion, maybe $2 billion, and then you are only using it one Sunday. And
Sir,
that same city, they are homeless people, homeless. And from Monday to Saturday is empty.
Yes, that's it. That is it. So it's not about the people. We are not people-minded. We don't understand that the concept of people. Sir, you see, I used to tell people that if Nigerian church, if we all come together, somebody wrote something and it was a blessing. It was a blessing to me. And he said, are you with me, sir?
Yeah, very well. I'm listening.
It's unfortunate that a lot of Christians are not aware of the contributions made by the Christian faith to the present civilization. He said he was talking about how the government, of the world, of the modern day development was built by Christians and Christian principles and Christian values all over the world, but in Nigeria, it is about the survival of the fittest. The weak prey on the poor. But then the church that is supposed to help to orientate the world on how the principle of God is supposed to be applied in governing the people, they are even worse, because I'm saying that when you look at some of the things that happen in some of our churches in Nigeria, you realize that they're even worse than the politicians. They are worse than the people out there, because it's about raising those people that are rich. You will hear a pastor go on pulpit and say that if you come and give me $1 million and you come and give me 50,000 naira, the way I'm going to pray for the million, the person that gave me $1 million will be different from the one I prayed for the one that gave me 50,000. You understand? And,
that is called nepotism. That is nepotism.
But you didn't understand that cannot be God. That is anti-God. That is anti-God. So it's about the more, who can do more, who can give more. So these are where the competition.
I think it was this week during that Shiloh that Bishop Oyedepo said does he say I'm fantastically rich or something like that? I'm dangerously rich or something like that.
Okay.
Yes, he said I am dangerously rich. I have everything. I mean, I'm dangerous. You cannot even imagine how rich I am.
Yeah.
But I know that there are people in that church who cannot afford 3 square meals.
Yeah.
In fact, I know people who are paying for some pastors and sending some of his pastors' children to school because those pastors cannot afford it. And he is bragging that he is fantastically or dangerously rich.
Those people who are poor in that place, the mindset here is that they don't have enough faith. It's because they don't have enough faith. So if I come as a pastor and I begin to say some certain things, it puts down the people who are there and are not doing up to what I'm doing. For example, if I come as a pastor in a church, somebody of his caliber, and say, I have never had the first fight with my wife since we've been married. You know what that does to the people? It makes them look like there's something wrong with us because we fight. So I want to believe that it's the same tactics to say that when a pastor comes and brags about his wealth and talks about his wealth, I don't know in whichever context he's talking of. I just felt that if that wealth is not reflecting in the environment, I feel it's not something to brag of. It's not something to go out and be proud of. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. So it's just is the problem of not understanding what kingdom is to be about.
But how come you are so transformed and you are talking the same language with me, but from the title, where is the title? From the title of the program, I see that, I wrote it, I just changed the title to My Journey Through Rccg, Winners, CAC, Word Assembly, etc. But you have been one of the adepts or one of the recruits one of the subjects, one of the
Yes.
slaves of this system. So you used to think like them one time, maybe, or what? How did your transformation? How did you go from there, where you were used to be like them, to where you are right now?
Well, when I was in the system, I believe so much in service. I believe so much that the Bible says that the steps of the righteous are ordered by God. So I believe that, you know, God took me through all these places to see some things, to understand some things about the state of Nigerian church. As a matter of fact, when I was in the system, when I was in the church, I wasn't seen as better as I am seen now. But even then, I've always been I've always been a lover of the Word of God. I've always been someone who is given to the Word of God. And I when you talk about the scripture and all that, there's something lives in me. So in the place of my studying and in the place of, you know, reading a lot about God and all that, I started making comparison. That is where it started for me. So I started making comparison that, you know, there were a lot of things we practice, but we don't go holistic in our approach to it. We carve out some doctrines, we carve out some things that we believe, we carve out some belief system, we make some things doctrinal, not because we have gone through the entire scripture to come to that judgment, but we just picked out a part of the scripture to enforce that doctrine. And for me, I felt that is wrong. If we are going to present anything about God to the people, it has to be holistic. It has to be something that we have checked everywhere, and that truth will stand at all time. So when I started noticing that, for me, I started realizing that no, there's something is wrong. But I don't believe, for me, when I don't believe that, because when I'm under a system, I don't want to be very confrontational on a system. That's my personal belief, because I believe that, you know, I'm still under that system. If I'm going to be able to speak or be able to share my view about that system, let it not be that I'm rebelling against the system. So what I do is, if I'm in this place and I realize that I have one or two issues with some of the doctrines and all that, and I don't want to subject myself to fighting that thing, so that it doesn't look as if I'm rebelling or I'm causing a lot of confusion in that place. Because most times I've always been in the position of leadership. Most times I've always been in the position of leadership, so that it doesn't cause a lot of issue. So I try to, separate myself from it. And that was how my journey towards some of these places are like. You know, why I moved from this church, I moved to this church. And apart from that, you know, I'm somebody who is given to just knowledge. I just want to know. I want to know. So those were the things that shaped my mindset, you know, with some of these things that I came in contact with. You know, but I believe that even here in Nigeria, like I've always said, there are still other people. There are still some churches, you know, who have this thing, who have the heart and they have the capacity, you know, they have the heart and the knowledge of what these things we're discussing. But because they are on the minority and they are not that, you know, big, it's not having that much effect. But in their own little way, they are really doing the best that they can do.
So how has your life changed since you started listening to this teaching?
A whole lot. Personally,
you said you started this. You said you started this year to really listen.
Yes, to really listen this year. Personally, for me, I think before I start anything, I want to start from myself. You know, because it's very important that if we are going to, Proverbs said, he said, the man who can
rule over himself, who can rule over, yes,
himself, is better than he that takes a city.
Yes.
You know, so I want to first, you know, because I realized that over a period of time in my life, you know, I've majored on the minor because of what I believed, because of my belief system. So I realized that I've majored on the minor, and I need to have a shift, personal shift with myself and my ideology about life, about values, system, and all that. So I felt personally I needed to start building and begin to enforce some of those things that I know, that I've learned. Because it's one thing to know all these things, it's one thing to I've heard all these things. They can just remain at the realm of head knowledge if they don't begin to convert and begin to transit from knowledge to what begins to drive my life. So when I came in contact with some of your books and some of your teachings and all that, I was really challenged. I found so much value in myself. I found so much capacity in myself, and I really want to give myself that push, because to transform and be a transformation agent, you have to be equipped for it. You have to be somebody of substance. You have to understand the principle that governs transformation. You have to understand the value of life. You have to understand the essence of time. You have to understand purpose and all that. So it started with me personally, and this is what I tell people: if we personally develop ourselves, it's not going to be easy for anybody to come and deceive us. If we are equipped individually and we have added
But
so
people
much
in
value,
Nigeria are always complaining that they don't have money for data. How come you are in Nigeria and you are able to listen? Because in 1 year you've been able to, you have added so much value to yourself that,
Yes, sir.
like I said, we are speaking the same language. So, but how come you are able to, what is that about? That people say there is an excuse, there is no data, but how come you are able to do it?
I don't believe that. I don't buy into that excuse. I don't buy into the excuse that there is no data and all that. What I believe is that it's about the priority. Sir, it's about priority. Majority of us, we use our data for things that will not add value to us.
Okay.
You understand? Because I was listening to some of your HMT teachings. For example, here is the way I think personally. I was listening to HMT. How much did it cost me to participate in all the HMT programs? It didn't cost me anything. I don't even think I spent up to 30,000 naira worth of data just to get all the HMT teachings. But if I was to travel or go for a degree or participate in a class that is going to teach me some of the values that were taught in that place, I'm going to be paying in the realms of the millions. So because I understand the value that is going to add, is just to prioritize, to know that, you know what, every money I have or every penny I have, I would rather use it to do this than to waste it on other things. So it is not about that data is expensive. For me, I feel right now data is relatively okay, the price. I'm not saying it's the cheapest, but it's just okay. But I feel that it's about values and priority. Whatever you value, whatever you think is of essence to you, you don't mind putting a lot of commitment into it. That's what I believe. So anybody that is giving the excuses that data is not available, especially to the elite, I understand in the rural areas and all that, they might not have access to the kind of, but even in the developed area in Lagos where I am, I see here some people complain about it, that's why I'm not able to do this. But people who understand value and value system, they do this thing. After all, the same people who are complaining, when their church or some other church are doing programs, some of them that cannot attend, they still stream it live. And they watch it live.
But
so
let me ask you one interesting question.
Okay, sir.
One of the times that you called in here, you are mentioning a lot of names.
Yes.
That a lot of people that are very prominent in the Christian progressive, the progressive elite Christians in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
How come you are so young and you know all those big guys?
Okay, like I said,
all the people that you know you know them.
Yes.
And that is very surprising.
At a very young age in my life, I've, because of what I do, I'm into music. I'm in the music ministry. It's one of my ministries, music. So I tend to work with a lot of people, a lot of pastors. So there was a time where there's this body that was organized by you called the Apostle in the Marketplace.
Yes.
So under the Apostle in the Marketplace, you have all these big names.
Yes, all the big people are there.
Yes. And at some point, I was the one leading the music team.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay.
So that gave me the privilege to get to hear. Then Prof was not the now vice president. He wasn't the vice president. Then he was the retired Attorney General of Lagos State.
He was just a member. He was simply a member of that group. Yes.
He was just the IMP. And Pastor Samadeyemi was there. Pastor John Enelama, a fantastic person. I love him so much. He was there. It was actually Pastor John Enelama that introduced you to me.
Wow.
Personally.
Wow.
Personally. You know. I love him so much.
He's in America. You know, he's in America now.
Yes. I love him so much, you know. So he was the one I introduced. So through that, I've met most of these people. I've met a majority of them, you know. And so I understood then where AIMP came from. You know, that it came from you. You were like the patron of AIMP. You understand? So that was how I was able to connect all those things. So because I'm into the music ministry and all that.
So that is how you got to know Professor Anibogu and the Institute for National Transformation.
The church I was serving sometimes around last year. I left there last year. Prof, you know, my pastor was one of the directors. It was like the African. It was the one in charge of the West Africa. So
is that Olumide?
No, that's Pastor Olugbenle, right?
Right.
No, I think it was Pastor Philip Igbenijesu.
Oh, you used to be under Philip Igbenijesu?
Yes, I was.
Are you serious?
I was under him for like 5 years.
No.
Yes.
Do you know that I've been to that church before?
Oh, no, I didn't know.
I've spoken there before. But at that time, Igbenijesu was a pastor in Atlanta. We came together to Nigeria and we were.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So
small world.
Yes.
So you know all the people in INT. You know that I started that Institute for National Transformation too.
Yes, I attended some courses with INT too.
It's like you hold the whole of Lagos in your hand like this.
No, I'm just driven by knowledge. Because sir, I understand what is coming. And we're in a time where it's only the people who have understanding and knowledge that will be relevant. People who do not have knowledge, people who don't understand the where we are, they will be so irrelevant. And so it's just naturally who I am. And I wish I had done more because, you know.
But did your pastor tell you, did Igbenijesu tell you that he used to be in my house here? He used to come on pilgrimage here too.
I know that he knows you because one way or the other, I know that he knows you because there's no way he will be in that capacity, will occupy that capacity in INT. That he know you. Yes, you know that there's no way he wouldn't know you.
He's been here several times.
Yeah.
But they all keep quiet about it now.
You know the way it is, sir. You know, like I said earlier, I feel that it's a matter of your methodology. I think it's your method that is the issue with a lot of people. You know, the way you came out and started tearing down. Because most of the people you are mentioning, these are people that the likes of my pastor also look, you know, give a lot of reference to. I believe that. You know, so if you attack somebody that he looks up to, definitely you should expect them to like, because fathering in Nigeria is a very essential thing.
Spiritual father.
Spiritual fathering, yes. It might not be direct, or one way or the other. You know, these are like the fathers of the land. Like we always say, they are like the fathers of the land. And so a lot of people believe that to come out like that and, you know, start hitting hard at these people is just totally wrong, you know.
Wow. Well, you know, it's no more me now. We are getting bigger and bigger every day. We have an army. of idol
Yeah.
idol smashers and temple cleansers. So
Yes.
that's not going to stop anytime soon. It's going to only increase.
What I have decided to do, is, personally, in my own area of influence, is to just, let's bring it back. Let's begin to re-educate ourselves about some of the issues that are happening in this land. And because we might not, just like you have the capacity to talk to the leadership, some of us have the capacity to talk to the followership. And I believe that if the people we can all come together, the outcry in Nigeria or of Nigerian church will now be to build the nation. It will be to build the nation. It will not be to have another program. It will not be to have another concert. It will not be to have another convention. It will not be to have another anointing service. But the outcry, the general outcry of every church person in Nigeria, every Christian in Nigeria, is to all gather, so that the only concern that will be in our heart is to build our nation, to make sure our nation is a heaven to be. It will now be that we are not coming to church again to come and give testimony and celebrate how we received visa to travel abroad. We see those things as miracle. Somebody gets visa in Nigeria to travel to America or to travel to Europe. It's like a miracle. But an American does not see that as a miracle. You cannot go to a church in America now and be saying, oh, praise the Lord, I got a visa. Because it's not a miracle. The system there has made that miracle transcend beyond the church, beyond the supernatural. It has become something that is of its material. They brought the supernatural to the material, but we are not bringing our own supernatural to the material. So it's only a few people who, one way or the other, get a visa, they come to church and we celebrate that. So a lot of things that we call miracle here are not miracle in other countries. So the question is it that God is doing more miracles for those people than he's doing for us? Or is it that God wants those people to have more miracle than he wants us? Because you go to Dubai and you see the way things are working, even though it's an Islamic country, you see that there is truth operating in that place. Even though you might say that they are not Christians, but they are practicing the principle of truth. If you go to some of these other nations that are not as religious as we are, their land has been transformed by some values that have transcended from their spiritual fare into their political and the social fare, this world. And you can see all those things working. So these are supposed to be the issues that we are talking about. And as best as I can, I keep, talking about those things, I equip myself, get more understanding, because before I can talk about a subject or something, I like to make my research. I like to understand. I like to be fast on that thing before we then bring it up. So in my own little ways, that's what we are trying to do. I think the redirection of Nigeria now is the kingdom mindset. We need to redirect a lot of Christians that this is what the kingdom, this is what the church should be about. So when they understand that, if a leader then calls them to come and do things that are outside the kingdom or they are anti-kingdom, they will always rise and say, no, this is not the way it should be.
Are you shocking your wife with all this, your transformation we did this year?
Not at all. My wife has always known me to be like this.
She's not afraid that, you are becoming radicalized.
No, she has always known me. She has always known me to be like this. Maybe then I wasn't this vocal and talking and all that, but one of the things I believe in the concept of timing. I believe that right now God is about to do something very drastic in Nigeria, and so that is why everything that is happening right now is becoming so relevant and is becoming very effective, because we are under the calendar of God. We are under a perfect time that God is about to do something. And so it is not a coincidence that a lot of things are happening at the same time at this time. It is not a coincidence that a lot of people are rising up to speak at this time. It is not a coincidence that a lot of people are beginning to have a shift, a mindset, a rethink. It doesn't matter, what people or who is saying what. it is the subject in discourse. Let's go back to the subject and look at it. Is this thing a valid subject? Is this something that we are supposed to be looking at? Is the matter of national transformation, is this supposed to be a state of emergency? Are we supposed to declare state of emergency on matters of national transformation in Nigeria? My answer is yes. Those are the issues that we are supposed to be discussing now. If at this stage we are still talking about what we are still arguing about flimsy things, and we are still discussing programs, and we are still discussing how many people are gathering and how many people are not gathering, then it means that we don't understand the scheme of things when it comes to timing in the view of God. So that is what I believe personally, and I believe that God is about to do something. There's going to be a shift in Nigeria, and then you can see almost parallel. You can see what is happening in our political sphere and our church. It's almost that the same thing is happening at the same time. The same thing is happening at the same time. You can put a parallel. You know, I was sharing with my with a team of people in my church yesterday. I said, "Sir, why are you so surprised that people are flagging Atiku as a PDP as the savior of Nigeria?"
I'm shocked.
Well, you know, when you talk about it, you talk with a lot of, like, you are surprised.
Yes.
And I'm saying that you shouldn't be surprised, because I believe that you understand that the spiritual controls or almost reflects the physical.
Yes.
Our state spiritually is when you see what is happening to us physically, you can put it side by side that this must be this person's state spiritually. Look at the people who in Nigeria, let me tell you what we believe. A thief, because of we don't understand the principle of delayed gratification.
Okay.
We don't understand the principle of delayed gratification. So, you know, this present government, as far as Nigerians are concerned, is failing. I'm not saying that he is doing so well, but I'm saying that if you are going to shift, why shift from this one and shift to a thief?
Yeah.
So, but a lot of Nigerians or even Christians will argue with you and say that they will bring excuses. They will say, after all, he's a businessman. After all, he's doing this. A lot of flimsy excuses. But I'm saying that, so what they are telling you is that we don't care what evil he has done.
No, I even hear, they even write it like that in the comment. Even though he's a thief, but we prefer the thief than the one that is stingy. At least the thief will distribute. But this one that is stingy and that is, we cannot see anything, we are dying of hunger. So let him come and steal and distribute, and maybe something will get to us.
Yes. So that is the challenge. So because we don't understand the concept of delayed gratification, we just want someone that will come in now and, I will be able to get my own personal gain. This one will be able to get his or his personal gain. You understand?
It's beyond me. It's beyond my comprehension. Because if this person we are talking about is like me, there is a false accusation that is brought against me in this country. I refuse to travel out because I want to clear my name.
Okay.
Let him go clear his name if he's innocent. What's the problem? Yeah. If he goes to America, that is the most democratic country in the world. He cannot say that he has political opponents there, or he has, people there who will be against him. No, that is the most democratic country in the world. Let him go, and he has money. Let him go and get his lawyers to work for him. He should be hiding his face. America is prosecuting him, not for stealing America's money, but for stealing Nigeria's money. And Nigeria, that is this money we are stolen, he has not admitted, he has not repented, he's supposed to be hiding his face. Nigerians are supposed to kick him out of the country and say, go and answer. They are supposed to even be, challenge their government. Why are you not prosecuting him here? Why only America is prosecuting him? Take him to court too. Nigerians are supposed to be arising and raising voice against him. But these same Nigerians are the ones who are telling me it's not your problem. Don't take Panadol. It's not your headache. You are not living here. We want him. He's him we want.
So I want you to understand now how the same thing is happening in the church. You understand? We know that these people are not doing what they ought to do, but we prefer them because of what we tend to get now. You understand?
But why do those people who are commenting, why are they so abusive? Because what they are writing, if you go and read the comments, they are all coming against me personally. You are not a pastor. You are APC pastor. You have been bribed. You have taken money. You are stupid. You are dumbhead. You are this. You are this. You are wicked. You don't love the people. You are a horrible person who God is going to punish you. All kind of language they are using against me. I said, okay, even if I have taken a position that you don't like, go ahead and state your own position.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I don't say you should not talk your own, no. Go and say your own position. Why abusing me? I'm not abusing you now. I'm just saying this is my position.
Yes. Well, sir, when it comes to the politics in Nigeria and when it comes to people in Nigeria, some people will die for people they don't even know in Nigeria. They will die for people they don't even know.
Where is that abusive culture coming from? Because when I used to grow up in Nigeria, in my own time, or maybe I'm an old person now, you don't abuse an elder at all.
Well,
that was like a taboo. You don't abuse elders. Even me, I'm talking about Deboye and something. They are saying I'm abusing him. I am what they call it, abusing. I'm being insultive. But I am not even doing 1% of what these people are calling me. I'm not even but and these are people, they don't have proof that I am telling facts. But these ones are just coming to say because you disagree with me, it means you are horrible, you are satanic, you are this and that.
Well, it doesn't matter the people's opinion. It doesn't matter what they feel. It doesn't matter whether they are going to insult or abuse you. Truth will always prevail. Truth will always prevail.
I'm just wondering about the culture. Is that a normal thing in Nigeria now?
Well, it is. Unfortunately, it is a normal thing, especially because we are in the information age where internet is available to everybody. Anybody can say anything and be anonymous.
Yeah.
So because of that, it also boils down to values system, educational system. It boils down to all those things, because one of the things that a lot of people down here don't understand is constructive criticism. A lot of people don't understand constructive criticism. So if you say something and I don't like what you are saying, and I don't have what to use to counter what you are saying, then I'll just scatter everything. Let's scatter everything. So when we scatter everything, then we will not be able to come to a resolve. Because especially when you begin to say things that are factual, when you begin to say things that are factual, that I know that if I open myself up to what this man is saying, there is a very high tendency that this thing will affect me, my judgment or perception of this person. So the best thing to do is to just scatter everything so that I will not even give it a chance. We will just scatter everything. It's true. It's true. We'll just scatter everything so that, because if I open my, and they will give you a lot of scriptures to back that up, and they will just scatter everything. So, but like I said, I think it boils down to value system and culture. It boils down to the essence of value. What kind of value do we get? Are we instilling into people? The people that are growing up and all that. So because we've lost that, we just want to defend people. We want to be vehement. We want to be abusive and all that. So I think that's where they got all that from. But I'm sure you know better, sir. You know better. You know what to expect. And by now you should have been used to all those things. But whether they say what they need to say or they don't say it, it's too late. Truth is progressive.
Because what they don't know is that doing that doesn't stop me from holding on to my views.
That is it.
I'm too much above that. Even if the whole country is going to be saying the opposite, I will still do what I receive to be correct.
Yeah, that is it. That is it.
Okay, so I think yes. You wanted to say something? Yeah, I think we have a caller, but while we are
Okay.
going to connect the caller, I want to
Okay.
ask you, what are some of the books you have read apart from Church Shift?
I've read how the church creates economic recession.
So what do you think about that one?
Fantastic book. It's one of the books I'm going to review.
Yes.
Yes, one of the books I'm going to review. I feel that book is one of the books that people here should read. That it will enlighten us. It will educate us.
In Nigeria.
Nigeria a lot. It will educate us because we will have a different mindset. In fact, one of the things that you spoke in that book that you emphasized on is delayed gratification.
Yes.
It was like the heart of the book.
Yeah, but because right now everything our pastors and bishops are preaching is immediate gratification.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm coming. Somebody is calling. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, DSA.
Yes, sir. Who is calling from where, sir?
Excel is calling from Germany.
Yes, Excel. How are you doing? Have you been enjoying our talk tonight?
Very, very, very educative.
What is your contribution?
Okay, so my contribution is I would like to first of all, sir, the topic the person that wrote concerning the outcome of the program, Shiloh and all those stuff going on in Nigeria.
Yes.
I was also reading the comments, but there is one thing.
Just a minute. I think is it Michael? Did you put on your device? No, or maybe it's Excel. You might need to. Do you put on your device there? You might need to put off something.
No.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
So I was also going through his comments. That was the day before yesterday. But there's something I want every one of us to understand here, and it's like this: the Bible says that the way that leads to destruction is broad. The way that leads to damnation is broad. There are many found in there, and this is the main reason God had to send Jonah to Nineveh. If we can remember, God sent Jonah there to go and make sure the will of God is practiced in that kingdom. Today, or in that nation rather, today Nigeria is the nation of Nineveh.
Yeah.
So what we ought to do is what we have been doing, sir. It does not matter the people that will speak against you. It does not matter the people that will speak against us. Definitely people are going to rise up because Nigeria now is a place where the oppressors is defending the oppressor.
Yes.
But we have to stand our feet, like I always say. They are going to stand up and keep defending these people because they have been schooled into the wrong Christianity.
Yes.
Now that we are bringing the lights to them, they will come. They will repent. Because Jonah wanted to stay back when God asked him to go to Nineveh. He wanted to stay back, but God insisted because God is interested. And God is interested in Nigeria. So we are speaking up today. You are speaking up today. That the phrase is speaking up today. And a lot of people are accusing them, calling them different kind of names. But there is one thing I want every one of us to understand. The will of God must prevail in Nigeria.
Amen.
In as much as we will not stay back like Jonah, the will of God must prevail in Nigeria. Secondly, I want to also talk about Nigeria church that we have been talking about. No matter how big the churches of Nigeria is today, and no matter how small, let me tell you, the small church in Nigeria, they are all striving to be like the big churches in Nigeria. They are all practicing what they see. They are all getting it wrong. We are not just standing up because we want to criticize them. No, I feel the pain in my heart as well. If you go to Nigeria today, you will hear Olumba, Olumba. You will hear 7 Days Adventist. You will hear Christ Embassy. You will hear Redeem. All these churches. I've passed through all of them. why they locked me out of Christ Embassy, because the main reason is they have gone to check through my title record. They couldn't find my name there. Because I have seen it in the system, in their system, that these people, they collect a lot of money, but they are not using it for the will of God. They are using it to build empires, temple for themselves. You understand? So this is what everybody is practicing. If you want to know, it's not even what we are talking about. Nigeria, the economy of Nigeria, the government of Nigeria today is totally sinking. It has sank. They are supposed to be on our shoulder, the shoulder of the church. But the shoulder of the church of today in Nigeria is not good enough to carry up anything. If you want to know, listen to their sermon. Listen to what they teach their people. They don't teach anything. They don't teach from the scripture. They teach from the laws. They don't teach anything there. A man of God will come, somebody that calls himself a man of God, will come and be teaching his congregation to pray against his enemy. We come and teach his congregation that God can kill somebody because of one person. I argue in the congregation. I was teaching in Sunday school, in a pastor church here in this Europe. I was teaching in Sunday school. I saw the topic. I tried to correct them that God cannot kill you because of me. If I die in my iniquity. It is not because God wants to kill me. I used I've forgotten his name in the Bible, to give them an example. Stephen, that was stoned to death. When he was dying, he also prayed the same prayer that Jesus Christ prayed for the people that hung him in the cross, if we can remember. But today, the so-called pastors that we have in Nigeria, they will give us wrong doctrine. So a lot of people have been trained to value the wrong thing. Our value system in Nigeria is what we derived from the pulpits. Our value system of every Nigerian is what is derived from the pulpit. If you look at Nigeria, a majority of Nigerians are found in the church.
Yeah.
And they are not giving them the right message, which they will use to build that nation. That is where the problem is. Whether you go to the big church, I told you the other time that when you leave this church, when you leave one church, you go to another church, you will discover that they are practicing something else, even though they are not practicing the same thing. But they are all practicing wrong things, wrong doctrines. That was not practiced by Christ. They will tell you that all church have their doctrines. There is no church you will go in Nigeria. These churches will tell you that all churches have their doctrine. It's not supposed to be like that. This is my heart cry wherever I am, that all church are not supposed to have their doctrine.
Yeah.
All churches are supposed to be found on the same doctrine of Christ.
Yeah.
If I'm coming to God's embassy, if I'm going to redeem, whenever I go to any church, I should be able to feel at home.
Yeah.
But it's not like that in our country. So let us not begin to see it from this point of view, that there are some people that are really doing well, really and truthfully. There are some people who really come with good mindset, but now everybody wants to be like Adeboye. Everybody wants to be like Pastor Chris. Everybody wants to be like Olukoya. So we have to smash all these temple out.
Thank you so much, Excel. There is other person who want to call. Thank you so much. You made your point. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You are saying something, Michael.
Yes. It's
you are talking about the book, how the church creates economic.
How the church, because yes, it's when you go through, when I read that book, it's so packed to know that there are some things that will never happen in this country until we'll have a mental shift when it comes to our concept of church and kingdom. Like I said, one of the things that you really emphasized there is delayed gratification.
Yes.
How we shouldn't just think for now. For example, let me give an example. Somebody who is suffering from cancer.
Yes.
Wants to go to a pastor
rather than going
to a church.
Rather than going to the hospital.
Rather than going to the hospital.
Just a minute, Michael. I think we have a caller. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, hello, Pastor TSA. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Who is calling from where, sir?
This is Wilson calling from Germany.
Wilson, how are you, Wilson?
I am fine, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful work that you are doing.
Thank you so much.
I pray that God will continue to strengthen you more and more.
Amen.
My contribution goes like this. Last time if you could know, I think you could remember the voice again.
Yes.
Like we say, the problem that we have in Nigeria is problem of tradition.
Yes.
Tradition.
Yes.
That tradition is the problem that we're having in Nigeria. Understand? That is the problem because of they've given power to. So power have been given to the elders.
Yeah.
A lot. That is the problem that we are having. And for now, I think God is opening more and more people are even. It's even happening in my family's house. My mother, nobody recognized me again. The whole house is scattered because they were having issue of hatred, no love in the family. The senior brother is claiming that he's the senior of the house and they should respect him and other kind of stuff. So he goes with selling all his father's property along, hoping that the father property is the thing that will help him. But I called him, I told you, come, these are the solution. He said, no, that church is the solution, that they're having church there, that a miracle will happen. I said, how could you be expecting for miracle if it did not work? There's no way it could happen. So you say you were senior. You 8 times senior. You are expecting senior. You put in that senior in mind, hoping that senior will fetch you what you want. Do you know that God has given you something in your brain?
Yeah.
You graduate of what? A graduate of what? What did you learn? What did you study in the school? So you pass out, since you graduate, you pass out in school up to today. What are you doing? You are begging.
Yeah.
Pastor will tell you, bring for me. Bring for me. When you bring for me, then you will go outside. God will give you. God will give you. Who is that person that will give you that God will without not working? That God will ask to give. Is God coming down to give, or you are the one? What about that thing that pushes you, makes you to talk, makes you to walk, makes you to think, makes you to do everything? Is that not God in you? So those are the things that you need to do. What did you study in the school? That thing that you study in the school is what God has given to you. That is what you will use, be able to acquire what you want to use to put on earth here for other people to use, for you to give to other people that are the younger generation to excel on earth here. But because that you did not know, he was arguing with me. I said, okay, fine, it's no problem. I just give you enlightening you a little bit, but let's just begin to see. So, like in terms of the churches that were happening over there, Nigeria, that's good news is coming anyway.
Thank you.
There are some of my friends and their brothers. Even there are some of my friends that have left me. Brothers again. Some of my brothers, they don't talk to me again. They think that maybe I don't love them, that I'm an enemy to them because I'm speaking the truth to them. Because they do not understand who they are. Because the brain have been twisted, have been taken away. So about the church issue, it's coming. We could pray. Let's so that this revolution happen. Because if revolutions did not happen, those people we know step down.
Yes.
Like what happened to Germany here? Germany here, Hitler did it.
Yes.
He did it here at the time he did it. That is when Germany begin to they begin to go to God. As they go to God, God begin to open their eye and begin to teach them, give them the wisdom and knowledge of the. They begin to use that wisdom and begin to excel on earth. Now, who is Germany? Germany is number one in the world that knows what technology is all about. It's because of their hard labor. Who is giving them the strength? You know God.
Yeah.
If somebody does not go to God, how will you be strong in spirit? People think that spirit is when you have spirit that you will not die. You will die, but spirit is about thinking, about creative, about a future, about knowing who people are and what people should do and what people should not do. That is spirit. The spirit is in the body, but when you seek, that is only when he will come to you.
Thank you.
I mean, that is true.
Thank you so much,
I
Wilson.
mean,
Thank you so much,
yeah,
because we have
yeah.
other callers. Thank you so very much.
All
You
right,
made
I
your
appreciate it.
point.
Thank you
You
very
made your
much.
point.
God bless
Very
you. Bye
good
bye.
point.
Yeah, yeah. Bye
Blessings.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Wow. So you are trying to tell me that the concept of delayed gratification is not popular in Nigeria?
It's not popular because, you know, if I want to explain it better, you know, breaking it down to our language here, is we don't understand what the essence of, we don't institutionalize our belief system, our the concept of our kingdom concepts are not institutionalized.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, now I was talking about why, instead of the church to be spending billions of naira building a place where the anointed pastor will stay there and people can come and meet him, the sick and can come to his place, or having a healing school where people can come there and he will laying hand on them for them to be healed, instead of spending so much money to do that, why not spend that same money and build a research institute, health institute,
Yeah.
or build a world-class hospital,
Yeah.
or let them begin to research on particular diseases? That would be more of a miracle to the society than for a few people to be coming. But the challenge is for the church to do that, it will take a lot from them. It will mean that they will have to sacrifice some certain personal, egocentric gain to go into that, to say, okay, all the money that is coming in, we want to put it in the hospital. If you do that, the pastor will not get the glory. He will not be seen as the super anointed man of God, because it's the hospital that is doing it. So because of that now mentality for me to be gratified, so we don't need to put that money in that place, because somebody wants to be the one that is the superhuman, that carries the super anointing to heal people, instead of to tap into the concept of the breakthrough from the mind of God that God has put into the mind of men in the place of scientific breakthroughs and health breakthroughs and all that. And let's put up that structure in such a way that if the likes of the miracle workers, if they die tomorrow or in the next 20 years, that institution that they have built will still be beneficial to thousands of people even after they are long gone. So, but because we don't understand that concept, we just want to focus on one person. Let's just go and get it now from that person. I don't care. I can't wait for them I can't wait for us to say we want to build a structure or want to build an institution. Let's just have, if this man is the one that can fix it, let's just go and meet him now. You know, it's like likening it to the people who came to Jesus in the book of Luke chapter 4, and they came to him because he fed the 5,000. The night after he fed the 5,000, the second day they came to him again. They came to him again. They want to come and get another meal. But Jesus, understanding that, look, it is not about what I can give to you. Let me put inside of you what can multiply that which you have eaten. Let me give you something that is eternal, something that will last forever, not just something that will keep you coming back to me again and again and again. You know. So, and Jesus, when Jesus told them that, all of them left him because they don't have that patience to understand that Jesus is thinking beyond the now. He's thinking, futuristic, Kali. He's thinking long time. So that mindset of now, get it now, do it now, achieve it now is one of the things that is lacking and is putting us in the place that we are. And that was why in the example that I made to you, that is the same thing you are saying in the church that is happening in the political sphere. That is why somebody will say an article should come now. Let him come and solve the problem now. We don't matter whether he has stolen. As long as he says he can solve the problem now, let him just come, because we cannot delay our gratification. So that's one of the things that the book was talking about. And, in the midst of it, all other things. The book also taught about how church leaders are supposed to be talking and strategizing on how to resolve national issues, how to resolve electricity issue, food shortage issue, poverty problems, security and insurgents, health and infrastructural issue. These are the things that the leaders are supposed to be gathering onto. And some people might argue and say, is that the problem of the church? It's not supposed to be the government that will be doing all that. But I tell you that the government can never, it is not in their capacity they are not in the place to enforce the kingdom of God on earth. So it is we are supposed to be the reflection of the kingdom. We are supposed to be the one teaching the government how to live, and they will be following us. So we all agree that the government of Nigeria has failed. The political people have failed. Then let the church lead the way. Let's begin to do the things that they can do. At least in some of our institutions, or in some of our churches, or in some of the places that we have built, there are some institutions or there are some churches where they have light 24 hours. But why limit it to your church alone? Why can't we extend it to the world? So that when these people that we're talking about, when they begin to see it, they can understand that this thing can be done. And then we will teach them how it is done. And then people will begin to benefit from the fruit of the kingdom of God. When we do good roads and we build good hospitals, those are the things that we're supposed to be guarding on. But for us to achieve this, we have to delay our gratification as a leader. To say, no, it's not going to be about me, but it's going to be about the people. So those are some of the things that the book teaches. Fantastic book, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
My microphone is. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. We were having a caller, but I think we lost the caller.
Okay.
We will get him back now.
Okay.
But you made a very good point. I want to also tell people that the book we are talking about is how the church creates economic recession. It's there
Maybe
on
later I will have time to do a proper review on that book, because it's so packed, it's loaded.
I will appreciate it if you could come and do a proper review.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a loaded book. It's something that our church leaders need to learn principles from. Let's take away this miracle breakthrough mindset and begin to create the breakthrough.
Okay, I think we have the caller now. Hello?
Hello, DSA. Good day.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry that we lost you the other time. Sorry. Who is calling from where?
Hello, this is Gabson Martins, calling from northern Nigeria.
Nigeria. Wow.
Hello?
Very good to hear from you. I'm always excited to hear from Nigeria.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead and contribute. We're hearing you.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. So what I want to say, sir, I've been your ardent follower. I remember I wrote you a mail before. You replied me. I have been following your teachings. You said I should listen to not less than 200. I'm still on them. So what I want to contribute on this platform is that I want to say you are doing the right thing. You are doing a good thing. We are here. We are supporting you. The message is spreading around. We are using Facebook and all media we need to use to spread the message, especially here in northern Nigeria and in Nigeria as a whole. So we are encouraging you to go on. It's a good work you're doing. All these people that want to put you down, they will not get us.
Amen.
We have already been enlightened. We have already been enlightened, because the truth can never be hidden. The truth can never be hidden. And therefore, we are standing with you, we are praying with you, and we are spreading the message. That is just what I want to say.
Wow, Mr. Martins, thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful.
So northern Nigeria is also on board.
Yeah, I think it's from the northern part of Nigeria.
Yes. That's what he
fantastic.
said. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, I want to say that all my books are in Nigeria now. There is Mrs. Shioma that sells them in Nigeria. And then they can also buy it electronically on Okada Books in Nigeria as well. But, it's so interesting, always engaging to talk to you. It's always very engaging. In fact, I feel like we have been talking just for 5 minutes.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yes, it's like, I don't know how many messages you have listened to over this 1 year, but you have done a good job.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. So
I'm still in the process. I'm still in the making. I'm still, I'm still in the making, and very soon, a lot of projects are going to spring out very soon. One of the things I said is very soon, myself and my team in church, we're going to start Kingdom Talk, and one of the things that my pastor has done is he had spent a whole lot of money to build a studio.
Whoa.
Yes, he's believed so much in this thing. So he has built a visual, both visual and music studio.
Yes.
Funded it heavily.
Wow.
And so that one of the things we want to be doing there is to sit down with people. Let's just bring up this issue, especially when it comes to, he is more particular about the issue of doctrines.
Yes.
He's very particular about the issue of doctrine. So let's bring out the doctrines and let's sit down and discuss these things.
Beautiful.
Construct it. So very soon that is going to start. Then
beautiful.
Because that's where I
Hello, Michael. Just a minute. I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Dr. TSA.
Good evening, sir. Can you speak louder? Who is calling from where?
This is Tunde calling from Nigeria.
Tunde from Nigeria. Wow, I'm excited. Today is Nigeria's day. Oh.
Well, can I continue contributing?
Yes, please. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. Well, first of all, the role of the church in building a nation is very, very important. But we must also understand that no matter how much Bible school this person goes to, or how much Bible knowledge you have, if God did not call you, you cannot be a pastor. You cannot be an evangelist. But there are 5 folds of the gospel of how Jesus was an evangelist, pastor, prophet, and teacher, and so on. So, first of all, the churches that God, the people that God did not call, they have to step aside. They have to build their church. Let us know those who God called to work. Then we can start nation building. Because most of the important universities abroad, Cambridge, Oxford, they were built by King Henry VIII, by a cardinal, by a pastor, by a pope. I think it was by one of the fathers then. So it was those that God called then that led the revolution. You understand? So most of these pastors you see in Nigeria today, the reason why they are not concerned about the government, why they are looting, why they are using them as a forward as a disguise to steal Nigeria's money, is because God did not call them.
Yes.
If God had called them, there will be a part of them. Like David felt bad when he took this guy's wife when he took Bathsheba from the husband. Like David felt bad. There will be a part of them that will be feeling bad because when God calls you, you have a way of scolding you. Somebody beside you will be telling you what you're doing is wrong. But these pastors are the one who call themselves. They are the one who recruit their members. They are the one who recruit their security guard. They are the one who recruit their account officer. So there is little they can do because God did not call them. So if God didn't call you, you understand?
Yes.
Then you'll be able to go back to God to say, I've sinned against you. You understand, sir? Because
beautiful.
Because back then, when in CAC, nobody can just come here and be speaking in tongues. It's not possible. We don't know where you're coming from. Today, everybody is speaking in tongues. A kidnapper goes to church, and when they go to church, they sit in front, and the pastor cannot bring the kingdom message to them because the purpose of the church is when a bad person comes in, when you preach a kingdom message to them, maybe their next move is to be a go and rob, then you have a change of heart.
Yes.
But today, there is no change of heart again. People just go to church, and when they hear that prosperity message, when they have that money message, they go to continue the same thing they were doing. No conscience anymore.
Yes.
You understand, sir? Because like when Kasali said that, he said any church, any cathedral that is used in Nigeria today, there is government money there, sir.
Wow.
Government money is there. If there is no government money, how can you build a 100,000 capacity?
Yes.
It's not possible.
Yes.
Right outside of you, there is poverty. Another thing I want to mention is this, sir. The world and the church are not the same. He who lives in me is bigger than who lives in the world.
Yes.
It's not possible to bring a comedian on stage to be making jest of people on stage. It is not possible.
Yeah.
It is not possible. Pastors going around with security guard protocol. Remember that when this guy died, when Adelaja died, he had so many security. He was a military officer. He had so many security. He still died.
Yes.
This pastor can die of hypertension, and the security will decided to rush into the hospital. Why are they doing all these things? DSA, I think in the next 20 years, the gospel that will be in Nigeria will not be gospel anymore. It will be a gospel of prosperity. It will be a gospel of 7 steps to turn around. It's not even for 7 steps to turn around. Don't take the job of the motivation speaker. Don't take the job of the university professor. Let the university professor be a university professor. Let the motivation speaker be a motivation speaker. And you be a pastor. You be a man of God. Let people see and know that this man is making something bad. You will not like it. God will scold me. When they are going to church, let them know that I'm going to a field of mine. Don't let the church be a place where they come and pick up girls. Don't let the church be a place where they are homosexuals. It is not possible. It is antichrist. In the Church of England today, You don't see them have too many posts. There is no security, there is no protocol. Everybody do their things the normal way, and people are free to go to church. But in Nigeria, the people who steal Nigeria's money, they steal funds in church. They sit. I watched I watched Experience yesterday. Tony Saraki, the wife of Bola Saraki, who stole money, who was speaking in a YouTube video. That video on YouTube. That woman was sitting in front in church at the Experience. They were recognizing dignitaries at the Experience. When they say it's a place and worship concert for God, they are recognizing PDP officials. Is that supposed to be?
Wow.
It is not supposed to be, sir. So even right under our nose, we can see. We can even apart from what the priest and you are saying, right under our nose, we can see. We can see what these people are doing, sir.
Wow.
So it's an ego Christianity, and this Christianity is traveling out of Nigeria to Ghana, to Zambia. That is what people are not practicing now. They are copying Nigerian, like they copy Nigerian music. They're not copying Nigerian Christianity, which is like a disease, spreading, sir. So there is a lot of another things I want to say is this, sir. In Nigeria, there is this thing in Nigeria, very funny in Nigeria. When a man is a pastor, are you listening, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. When a man is a pastor, his wife is a pastor, his son is a pastor, his daughter is a pastor. They God follow them. Because we do not know who is Eli's wife in the Bible. We do not know who is Samuel's wife in the Bible. And these people have family. Who was Peter's family? Now, God called one person and let the wife be the wife. If the wife is a musician, if the wife is a banker, let her be a banker. Don't give her the role of the pastor.
Yeah.
We don't understand anymore. So everybody just laying hands. Everybody just eating on the communion. Back then, sir, when I used to go to CAC, if you are not a born again, if you are not water baptized, you cannot eat Holy Communion. Today, they just say, if you are not born again, come outside. Then they come outside and not pray for the sake you cannot eat Holy Communion. It looks like it's being bastardized. So today, everything now is funny. You don't know who is who again. Now, sir, another thing in Nigeria, if you want to see very well, let me be very honest with you. If you want to know if you want to know a good pastor in Nigeria, it is by speaking British English. They contribute to the disadvantage of Nigeria that you cannot speak our language. You don't speak English. Children cannot speak their language again, which is a very, very bad thing. When you go to Ukraine, Russia, everybody speaks their language.
Yes.
In Nigeria today, when you go to the churches, they speak British English. That is what every pastor preaches now. British English.
Yes.
That's what every one of them does now. So it's like I feel in the next 20 years, everything will be out of order. Everything, even people like you said, we don't be able to speak because it will have gone out of proportion. So I think things need to be done, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much today. Thank you so very much. Wow. Well, my time is over. We have overspent the time by 20 minutes actually. So we are not going to receive any calls today. I just want to make an announcement that for people who are watching, if you have not yet registered for the History Makers Training in February, please go and register History Makers Training in February. The way to do it is to write to HMT, History Makers Training at godembassy.org. If you want to come to Ukraine and be with us and participate in the HMT, just go and register. Or write to hmt at godembassy.org. If you want to read my book, you can read them for free on Kindle Unlimited, or you can buy them on Amazon, or else you should just write to us here by writing to dssbooks@gmail.com. If you buy in bulk, it will be cheaper than on Amazon. If you want to be receiving our messages every week, then please send your telephone to our number. Our number is +38 098 596 3838. So, that's it. I have a new book that I just released on this week, and it's called "Who Will Attend Your Funeral?" Who will attend your funeral? And that book is going to be costing $20 when it's out, but right now you can pre-order it for $2. For $2, you can get that book right now this week. Before next week, it will be already out, and when it's released, it will be much more expensive. So Who Will Attend Your Funeral is a book that will help you to be able to value life so that you will be able to maximize your life before death comes unexpectedly. Well, Michael, what would you like to say to the people who are watching us now before we go?
Well, I just feel that we should not keep quiet. For some of us who God has given this understanding, we should share it with our friends, we should share it with our colleagues. Let us stir up a burden in the heart of people, which is more important. Let there be the burden for national transformation. Let the burden to bring the church back to where its essence. Let it begin to stir up in individuals, and I believe that the time has come, for a lot of things to change, for there to be a shift in the country, in the church. This is the time we are in, and we should all look forward to it. We all have a part to play in it. Everybody, should go back to the drawing board and let's begin to fix our values from within. Let there be a change of value system individually, because I believe that it is people with great values that will form a nation with great values. So that's what I believe.
Beautiful. You've done
Yeah.
so well, and I'm expecting you
Thank
to
you so
come
much.
back and do the review of that
I
book,
will.
How the
I
Church
will do
Causes
that.
Economic Recession.
It will be my pleasure, sir.
And help me greet your family,
I
your
will do that,
wife,
sir.
and everyone.
I will
Thank
do
you so
that.
much. And I will be
Thank you
coming
so
back
much.
in the next 15 minutes for this new series that we are doing right now, high yielding life versus low yielding lifestyle. High yielding lifestyle versus low yielding lifestyle. So in the next 15 minutes, we'll be back to continue that series. Thank you so much, everyone. Peace.